In this video, I will show you a very amazing variation I found in the Queen's Gambit declined. It's a really aggressive attacking option that has almost never been played. So it's a really good try if you want to get some aggressive play in the Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit declined happens after these moves: d4, d5, c4, pawn to e6. And I have to say, if you are someone who plays the Queen's Gambit, you probably know that these are some of the more boring variations, because it's pretty simple for black to just have an equal position. And as white, you can pretty much do anything you want. Almost every single legal move is actually a playable move. But I'm going to show you a really aggressive attacking framework you can use here. So I like to continue with knight to f3. And the main reason why is most players play actually knight to c3 very early on to influence the center. But black is almost always going to play bishop b4 and pin your knight. And that's sometimes annoying. So we don't want to run into that. So we're going to play knight to f3, which is not really commonly played, but it's a really good variation. Black is going to play probably knight to f6. Of course, there are many different variations. I will show you at the end what you can do against all of the other lines. But knight to f6 is the most played move. And we are going to go ahead and play bishop to g5 immediately. So our plan here is to just pin this knight to the queen. And that's a little bit annoying for black, right? This knight was defending the center, also stopping us from at some points playing e4. So most likely black will try to unpin this knight. I think there's not much else you are going to see. Maybe sometimes h6, in which case I also recommend just capturing this knight, because now a defender has been removed here on d5. So most likely you're almost always going to get a bishop to e7. And now we are really happy, right? Because if this bishop is here on e7, well, we can actually put the knight to c3 without running into the annoying pin, because black would have to waste another move to play this pin. So we can play this. But I like to first play the move pawn to e3 here, because we always have to be a little bit careful. For example, here, and some variations, black can actually capture here and then try to defend, and he will just be up a pawn. It's still a decent position for white, but I don't want to run into that, so I try to play pawn to e3 as early as possible, so that we can always recapture here with the bishop, right, if black ever captures here on c4. So that's an easy way to remember. You are going to play the knight, the bishop, close your pawn structure, and then we are going to have this bishop protected. Black, multiple moves are possible. Many things just transpose to other variations, so most likely they are going to castle. And then here we can play our knight to c3. And we are only playing it now because it's not really interesting for black to still pin, because they would just be repinning their own knight actually in that case. And then here black has to try and find a plan. And there's really not many things black can try. This bishop is not going to go to d7, so most likely black is going to play b6, bishop b7. Sometimes they play knight d7. Sometimes they play an early c5, so we are going to take a look at that a bit later in the video. But most often, black will try to play pawn to h6, because they want to kick away this bishop and make sure that this knight is no longer pinned. And it's against this variation, this specific line, that I have a really amazing attacking opportunity. And this is one of the most played variations in this line, so you will get this a lot. You can capture here, you can capture the knight, and black has to recapture. And we are going to go for a pretty insane attack on the king side. And we are going to start off by playing here queen to c2. So queen to c2, basically because we want to activate the queen down this diagonal, because those are going to be attacking opportunities in the future. And also we are not going to castle king side in this position. We are probably going to castle queen side. So that is why queen c2 is a good waiting move. And here still, black has some opportunities. Most players will in this position go for pawn to b6. And it's against this pawn to b6 idea that I have a very aggressive option. If they go pawn to c5, well, things are a little bit different. This might seem a little bit crazy because this is like a gambit line, but this is playable for black, something like this. Sometimes then, okay, we are going to castle kingside and we're going to be safe. But against most lines, we are going to be able to do a very aggressive attacking option. So pawn to b6. And we are going to go crazy, straight up h4, pawn to h4. And we will completely destroy the enemy kingside here. So pawn to h4, we're going to play pawn to g4, we're going to play pawn to g5, h5. Everything is going to open up. The queen was already looking at this where the rook will enter. We're going to castle, swing over the rook. This is going to be total madness. And this is completely new. This has almost never been played in the Queen's Gambit. So pawn to h4. Well, black's probably just going to continue with bishop b6. Some other variations are possible as well, but probably bishop b7, I mean, is the best or the most common approach, I'm going to say, for black. So we are going to capture here in the center. Usually you do this because you don't really want run into any problems here later on. It also helps here to weaken the black position a little bit by capturing. Okay, black can capture with the bishop as well if they want to, but I mean, we're just going to capture with the knight, so most likely they're going to capture with the pawn here. And then we're going to go all in for the attack. Pawn to g4. g4, h4, you can already see we have very aggressive options. And it's hard to tell you what the most played moves are here for black, because this position has almost never been played, but white is already winning. So I think the best move by the engine, and that's what I'm going to continue with, is bishop to e7, because we know that this is coming as black, so we're going to move the bishop first. But if they play something else, I think knight e7 is something you will also get. You often have g5 here. And of course, taking doesn't really work, because we can take, and now all of a sudden, this has opened up, and black just has to play g6 and drop the bishop. And that's the whole problem here. If we push, black's in a lot of trouble. And if black says, okay, I'm going to drop back now, well, actually, you can take here. Recapturing here, I don't think that's something you want to play. For example, queen f5. This rook is going to swing over. This bishop is going to be activated. This is undefendable from the black side. You're always going to run into checkmate, or you will have to sacrifice a rook or a queen to prevent it. So the best move here for black is bishop e7. And are you going to see that a lot? I don't even think so. I think you're going to see a lot of different moves, probably not bishop e7. But in general, the idea you have to remember is just to go all in with the attack. g5, break open as many lines as you can. Activate the queen, activate the bishop, maybe castle, activate the rooks. I can't show you every single variation, but I'm pretty sure you will find a checkmate in every single one of them. But I'm going to continue just with bishop e7 because this is the top move and your opponent might play this. So now we play g5, but the big advantage for black here is they can actually play h5. And this is a little bit more safe because, well, the bishop has already dropped back, the pawn is here on h5, so we don't really have a way to damage the structure straight away. So we're just going to continue. As I already said, we're going to castle, we're going to get our pieces involved, we're going to slowly build up the attack here. For example, knight to c6, and now we're going to go knight to e5. Knight to e5 is always a move in these lines, of course, activating the knight towards the enemy king. So I think black will probably take this and try to eliminate your knight if they can. For example, pawn to c6. There's not really much we can do for black anyways. And then we are going to continue with a really bonkers move here. So multiple things are possible, right? You can activate the bishop here. You can start pushing pawns. You can play the king over, you can activate the rook, but there's a really amazing line here as well. And I just want to show you this so you can maybe use this in your own games as well. And that's knight to e4. And knight to e4 is actually a pretty crazy move because we are giving away this knight, but of course black cannot capture this because otherwise they would be losing the queen. So for example, if black takes, we can take here, and then if black takes, well, for example, queen takes here, and black's just completely losing and down material. So we are going to get the knight involved through this e4 square, so really sneaky. Probably black is going to be like, okay, I'm going to move this queen so at least I can capture this knight. But now we're going to play something even more crazy. This knight's just going to jump into f6, and that's just brutal. Giving a check to the king, of course, if the king moves, that's an immediate checkmate, right? Because this knight and this queen are working together on this h7 square. So basically black has to capture. If black captures with the bishop, that's not so good. You can capture both ways here. And of course we have an attack against the enemy king. But I would probably capture with this one because this was under attack by the queen. And this is really good for white as well. We have an attack on the enemy king. For example, after they play here, we can go in with the bishop. Sometimes we're going to sacrifice pretty crazy attacking lines as well. If they take with the pawn, well, we're going to recapture here. And now you can see we have this counterattack on this bishop. And, well, where is this bishop going to go? Is it going to go to e8? Then we have check here with the rook. This has to move, and then you can just go rook to g7, and we are basically working together with these two pieces to deliver the checkmate here on h7, and it's unstoppable, really. So this is my entire plan. If you play the Queen's Gambit, and you face the Queen's Gambit declined, okay, you can get many different lines. Most of them are pretty boring, pretty drawish. that's fine, but it's really good to know this ID because this is a really common variation where you can try to force this attack with h4 and g4. There are a couple of more lines that I won't show in the video, but as always, this Lichess study is available in our Discord group, so you can check it out there as well. And then I just wanted to show you this one line, Queen's Gambit declined as well. So we're going to go with the same approach, right? We're going to play knight f3, bishop g5, black's going to defend, we're going to play e3, all of the same ID. I would recommend to always play the Queen's Gambit like this, because it's in these lines that we do have the crazy attack. So definitely always try to go for this. Black castles, we develop the knight. Okay, black plays knight to d7 here, which is a little bit different, right? Because now they are defending this. So we're going to continue with the plan, queen c2, h6. And here I would not recommend you capture, because of course if you capture, the knight's just going to take, and well, the entire plan basically with h4 and g4 doesn't really work, because this knight is also stopping it. And it's a little bit too dangerous to go for this with white. So against these variations, I would recommend to just be safe and not capture. You can always move back the bishop here to h4 if you want. And then black might play something like c5, which I also talked about previously. That's always a good counterattack they have. You can often exchange here in the center, capture, and you will get something like this. You might get something else, of course, depending on the moves. But this is just the Queen's Gambit declined. We're going to just have normal development. For example, bishop here, b6. We're going to castle, bishop b7. And that's the plan. We're going to put the rook here, and we're just going to try to play positional chess. We're going to try to improve our pieces ever so slightly. We are going to fight for the open files, as I just showed you here, these open files. We're going to have to improve this knight somewhere. Maybe it's going to zigzag like this. Maybe it's going to go like that. The knight's probably going to head for this d6 square. Sometimes we can actually plug the knight here in e5, sometimes go there. So white still has a couple of IDs, but with good defense, as always, with good defense, black can most likely try to force a draw. But I really wanted to show you this ID because I think it's pretty incredible. If you want to learn some other IDs for the Queen's Gambit, you should check out this video next, because I found some other really interesting lines to check out. That's it for this video. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!